just unprepared. He is temperamentally unfit to hold an office that requires knowledge, stability, and immense responsibility. This is not someone who should ever have the nuclear codes, because it's not hard to imagine Donald Trump leading us into a war just because somebody got under his very thin skin.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, more of Hillary Clinton and her speech today. Joining us now, I'm very happy to say, it's been way too long, is John Sununu, former governor of New Hampshire, former chief of staff to George H.W. Bush, and author of The Quiet Man, The Indispensable Presidency of George H.W. Bush. There's the book on your television screen. Hello, sir.
How are you tonight?
I'm good. It's always great to talk to you, my friend. All right, so that was the tone of Hillary's speech throughout, mocking Trump. He's unqualified. Basically, he's a buffoon who's a loose cannon and can't be trusted with the nuclear codes, right on down the line.
You know, it's amazing. All that comes from somebody that screwed up Benghazi so bad. She couldn't even be trusted with Ambassador Stevens' phone number, and much less trying to analyze and discuss what happened with the American public. She lost the confidence of the public with that, and she's the one that has a huge deficiency in terms of a capacity to handle foreign policy.
Okay, and you know, Donald Trump responded in his usual manner on Twitter. But, you know, and that's the thing. You know, I watched some of the media coverage of this, the left-wing media coverage, and they're just going on and on and on. And you know, it was Ari Fleischer, I believe, who talked about Putin and how Putin ate Hillary's lunch. You mentioned Benghazi. There's the rest of Libya, what we're left with after Gaddafi. There's Iran and that despicable, disgraceful deal. There's the Russian reset button. We all remember that. I mean, she has a laundry list of failures as Secretary of State.
Well, she does, and she's the one that ran the ad last time about the 3 o'clock phone call. But we learned, and Benghazi is the best example of that, that she had no idea how to answer that call.
Yeah, no, absolutely. All right, so this is the kind of attack Donald Trump could expect. I mean, can't he just say, basically, you know, I don't have much foreign policy experience. I'm not an experienced politician. I am who I am, but I know what I know, and I will surround myself with the greatest, you know, foreign policy experts. Is that sufficient?
Well, I think the best way for him to do that is to start getting those foreign policy experts into the game. And I think if there's one thing that Mr. Trump has failed to do as well as he might have in the last week or so, is to start putting out the names of some of the folks that he is going to rely on. But I suspect between now and the convention in Cleveland in July, that will be coming forward.
All right, let's put up a very interesting tweet that came out earlier today. Much anticipated, perhaps. I don't know. I'll let you use your words, but it's from Paul Ryan, who said, "I'll be voting for Donald Trump this fall. I'm confident he will help turn the House GOP's agenda into laws." Does this matter? Or maybe I should reverse it. A, what made him realize this right now when he didn't realize it a week ago, or at least he wouldn't say it a week ago? And B, does it matter much?
Well, it all matters, and it all is an accumulation of people that will be coming forward. Look, I committed to vote for the Republican ticket from top to bottom. I'm going to vote for Trump. But part of the process is folks like Paul Ryan, who have serious responsibilities, trying to make sure that on policy issues there's some agreement and some consistency with what will probably come out as the Republican platform in July. So I can understand Paul trying to take it step by step. There's no, you know, there was no timetable or time pressure to do it immediately. And you're going to see a lot of folks coming out, some slowly, some more quickly than others, coming out and tying the party together. The party is really looking at not just the presidency, it's looking the impact of the presidency in undoing what Obama has left us after 7 years of a mess. It's looking at the presidency as perhaps being there to give us 3 Supreme Court judges over the next 4 years. And it's looking, frankly, at the down ballot tickets, governors and states and senators, state legislatures, congressmen, to try and provide the framework of a party going forward. So it's a complicated thing, and every individual has to look at it in the context of their particular situation.
When you hear about this third-party candidate push, and I love Bill Kristol. He's on this show nearly every week. I disagree with him vehemently over what he's doing. But when he talks about David French, or that name David French comes out as the guy who might be the third-party candidate, does that indicate that this is absolutely not serious and that he has failed in his attempt to gain someone or get someone with a huge name recognition and political experience who could be at least taken seriously?
Well, I suspect, I like David. David's a great writer, a great thinker, but this is certainly not necessarily the job for David. I'm not sure we'll be talking about this by the time we get to Cleveland in July. I think the real concern that the party has, and the ticket that will create problems for the party, is the Libertarian ticket with 2 former Republican governors on it, and the strategy was going to have to be developed on how to deal with that as the third party.
Yeah, and we're talking about the 2 Republican governors, and are you surprised that Governor Weld is on that ticket and has ventured back into the mix?
Well, surprised when I first heard it, but the more I thought about it, I thought about the fact that Bill Weld has been dying to get back into it. You know, he tried to run for governor in New York after having been governor in Massachusetts, and he's been itching to participate around the edges. So on second thought, after my first surprise, I was less surprised than I thought.
Governor, it's always great to talk to you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care, Steve.